Okay, so I'm here in my car. I am drying my clothes in the wash house. And I wanted to take this time to talk about some things that worked in my classroom. It is the end of the school year for us. The last day for the kids was Friday, and the last day for us, we still have to go Tuesday. Today is Sunday, I forgot the date already. I think it's May 27th. Yeah, May 27th, because Memorial Day is tomorrow. So some things I jotted down, some things that worked for me in my classroom, and I was watching a couple of YouTube videos to see what other teachers had going on in their classroom. Maybe I can implement it in my classroom. Maybe it could work, and some of the things I did implement did work. Some of them didn't. I don't know, different strokes for different folks. But these are some things that work for me in my classroom. Number one thing, pencil pouch. I think I talked about that in an earlier video, but those pencil pouches are a godsend. I actually got that idea off of someone off Instagram last year. I can't remember who, but she had advertised her pencil pouches. Well, not advertised, but showed her pencil pouches, and it was called like Pencil Wars or something. So I kind of did some more research through Pinterest, and what it was is just that each child has a pencil pouch. They have 3 pencils and an eraser inside. And at the end of the week, if they still have the 3 pencils and eraser, that teacher gives them an award. A reward. I'm sorry, an award. A reward. So I took that on because I know that's something that all kids need. Pencils, paper. They all need that. Pencil, paper. That's what they yell for. I don't have a pencil. I don't have a piece of paper. So that's definitely something I took and ran with it, and it worked absolutely perfect in my classroom all year, from day 1 to day 180, and I made it work. One of my not co-teachers, but one of my team teachers, I was telling her about it, and she tried it, and it didn't work for her. Like I said, different strokes for different folks. But I started out with, at the beginning of the year, I did start out with giving them a treat at the end of the week, and I kind of slowly stopped that because that's not something ideal for me to give them a treat every single week. So I just kind of made it seem like that's your responsibility. You need to, and I collected those pencils. It was in a container. I'll insert a picture, but it was in a pink container. All the pouches had a number on it. All my kids had a number, and they had to get their pencil pouch corresponding to that number that they were assigned at the beginning of the school year. And they would get the pencil pouches every morning. If they needed it. Some of them didn't need it, but most of them did, so they would get the pencil pouch, and at the end of the day, I would collect them at the end of every single day. And I know some of you guys like, oh, I don't think that's ideal for me. It's ideal for me. I can do that. And then I probably say maybe around October, November, I started assigning a student to collect the pencil pouch. Like, I had one of my toughest students that's gonna be like, where is Miss Tall pencil? So yeah, but I collected them, and I make sure that there was 3 pencils and an eraser in each pencil pouch. But and I really did it because a lot of kids come to school without pencils. They come to school without book bags. They come to school without coats in the winter. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, why hassle them for a pencil when you have one here? And this is something that will keep them responsible. Let them be responsible for something. They're 2nd grade. They're 7 and 8 year olds. It's time for them to be responsible for something. So why not start off with having 3 pencils and eraser in this pencil pouch? So that was an extreme success for me. I still had 3 pencils and an eraser at the end of the school year. I did swap out the pencils, like if they got too small or something. I did swap them out for brand new pencils, brand new erasers. I swapped them out quite a couple of times. I even added extra pencils in there sometimes for them because we would get pencils throughout the school year from like Children's Healthcare of Atlanta and stuff, and places like that. So I would give them those pencils in there as well. So that was a thumbs up. Another thing was my Glade plug-in. I love fresh scents. I'm obsessed with cleanliness and smelling fresh, and just the air around me smelling good. And so my Glade plug-in, I loved it. Everybody that came in my classroom was like, oh my God, it smells amazing in here. But I love my Glade plug-in. It makes my classroom smell good, so I love it. Micro scrubbing Lysol wipes, I will definitely insert a picture in there. One of my team teachers had told me about it, the micro scrubbing Lysol wipes. I love it because sometimes they have stuff on their desk. I have no idea where it comes from, but I clean their desk every single morning. And with the regular, okay, that was a phone call. So yeah, so I love my terabyte flash drive. It works wonders, saves plenty of files on there. Instead of having, like, I see a lot of teachers have like 5 and 6 flash drives. But another thing is 3-tier willing cart. My 3-tier willing cart, I bought it from Aldi's right before school started. I love it. I would have like a lot of things for my small groups on there. So that's pretty much what I mainly use it for, just holding items for a small group. And I had it back there where my kidney table was for small group purposes. So that was actually perfect. I love my Instagram and my YouTube teacher community family, because a lot of things that I see you guys do, I try and implement it, and it works. And some stuff don't work, but some stuff does. But I just love the flow of ideas that this teaching community has to offer. What else? Morning work. Allyson, oh gosh, I can't remember her last name, but our first name is Allyson. I know that for sure. She had the projectable morning work, and she had like 180 days of it. I love it. I used it from day one to the last day of school. I love it because you don't have to make so many copies of paper for them to do morning work. Like, a lot of teachers make copies and, have their morning work on the paper and have it on their desk when they come in, but this is projected on the board. I let my students use a composition book, and with each page, at first I started printing off the template that she had to go along with the morning work, and I probably say maybe 6 weeks after that I stopped printing that out, because they got the gist of how each square is supposed to go. So I love that. They write in their composition book the morning work, and after that we go over it, and I love because it's kind of like a review. So that's the main reason why I love it. And then there's a fun fact at the end, at the bottom, and my kids love finding out what that is. They're like, wow, okay, that's interesting. Sharpie pens. I love my Sharpie pens. I have sloppy handwriting, but when I write with a Sharpie pen, for some reason, I don't know, it makes my handwriting look appealing. Flexible seating. I love my flexible seating. It allows my students to actually get some work done, because those chairs are kind of hard, and I wouldn't want to sit in those chairs all day. So when they sit in the flexible seating, they're not so much like, when they're in the hard chairs, they're like always on their knees, standing up or moving around or something. But when they're in the flexible seating, they're just not doing all that. So yay for flexible seating. I will definitely get more flexible seating next school year. What else? Choice boards for work. During small group time, I give them choice boards and the choice boards are really just a review of some of the stuff we've been over, and then it's also the standards that we are currently going over now. Now, my choice boards are not something that I have to explain to them in depth, because when they're doing choice boards, they're usually doing their small group work, and I'm in the back working with another group. So I don't have time to stop and explain what's going on. But with small groups, I have my reading groups, I have like fruits. My math groups, I have like vegetables, and I have a leader in each group. And the leader is somebody that I know that will be able to explain to that group what might be going on. At the beginning of the school year, my lower group, I kind of had like a higher group to be, one of the person in my higher group to be a leader, because my lower group, they were just totally lost. They couldn't explain what was going on. So that's why I had a leader in my higher group to be a leader for the lower group. But by the end of the year, I end up picking a leader for my lower groups, in the lower group. Before we break up into small groups, I always go over what we had. Like if I have anything new, I always go over that. And I always go over several things that are in each basket that's at each table. And I have them repeat the goal back to me, what they're supposed to be doing, so that I know that they understand and everything. Most of the time when I do my choice board, I really do it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something, and then they have to turn in all of that work to me that last day. Most of the time it's 2 weeks, most of the time it's 3 weeks. It depends on how long we might be going over that standard. So that definitely works. I project my choice boards like up on the board, like the groups of rotation. I believe I showed you guys that back in October when I was setting them up. I will insert a picture again so that you can see. But I have like, you know, my group one is the group, like, you know, my mangoes are here, apples are here, you know, etc., etc. And in each basket, there's definitely plenty of work for them to do whatever's on their choice board. They can do it. There's also a timer. At first, when I started doing my groups, I started setting it to 15 minutes. And then after my results for STAR came back in benchmarks and stuff, I felt like that I needed a little bit more time with certain groups. So then I started setting my timer for 20 minutes. So to be honest, I would probably be on a good day, on mostly Thursday and Friday when I will run my groups longer, I will get through 3 groups. And then maybe like Tuesday and Wednesday, I would probably get through 2 groups. Usually Monday is when I explain, like when we go over everything, the standards and all that other stuff. And then Tuesday we will go over the standards again and continue to do what's on the lesson plan. And then usually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's when we break off. That's when I kind of like do the groups and stuff like that. But I guess you can say Monday is the I do. Monday is the I do. And then Monday and, you know, Tuesday is the I do. Wednesday is the we do. And Thursday is the Friday is the you do. So I guess you can kind of say that's how I, you know, work it. So yeah, I play jazz music. I love jazz music. I play jazz music when they enter in the classroom in the morning. I play it throughout the groups. I think it's just calming. And it's just some kind of, because sometimes when they're really into their work, they're quiet. I don't tell them to be quiet. They're just quiet because I guess they're really working on their work. But so I kind of play some just a little jazz music in the background. What else? So yeah, and then when I project the group work on the board, when the timer goes off, they already know to move to, and it tells them what table to move to, or like I have table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, and they already know, like I'm usually table 2. I have my small group in the back and I'm table 2, and they know if they move to table 2, they come back there with me. If they move to table 3, then there's another activity that they need to complete in that basket. What else? Eating lunch with the kids. I used to be a paraprofessional and I used to work cafeteria duty. I hated cafeteria duty. Well, not hated, that's a strong word. I really disliked cafeteria duty. Because the kids will be out of control. You're not their normal teacher, so they're just out of control, up out of their seats, fighting, just talking loud. You're constantly saying level 0, you know, sit down, yada yada yada. So as being a paraprofessional before, then I'm just like, look, as a teacher now, I'm gonna sit with my kids. I'm gonna sit with them for lunch. A lot of teachers don't do that. I'm not a lot of teachers. But I know how the paraprofessionals in their field, so that's why I sit with my class. And to be honest, I mean, I got to eat lunch anyway, so I don't mind eating with them. Don't even bother me, because by the time I take them to the cafeteria, go back to my classroom, warm up my lunch or whatever, I only got really 20-15 minutes to eat lunch anyway, so I might as well just stay in there and sit with them. And plus, I feel like that if I sit with my class, it cuts down on my class, my 20 kids getting up, talking loud, or doing stuff that they don't have to do. And that's one less class that paraprofessional or that cafeteria monitor in there have to talk to. So that's why I choose to eat lunch with my class. So that works for me. And I ate lunch with my class almost every single day. The only time I probably didn't eat lunch, like out of 180 days, I probably didn't eat lunch with them maybe a good 5 days. And that was only because one time I know I did have a headache and I felt like I just needed that moment to myself. And then another time I had to contact some people. I had to call some people on the phone. And then another time I think I probably was trying to put some information in the computer or something like that. I don't even know. But most of the time, I'm usually in the cafeteria eating lunch with my kids. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it. All the things that kind of work for me. And also with classroom management, I'm really firm. I'm very firm. I have a loud voice. My kids always say, they tell me that my voice start all the way down here and then it gets really loud. So they tell me that. So it's funny. But yeah, so, and then another thing with classroom management is that I said I'm firm and I'm very consistent. If I say something, then I'm going to keep saying it, because I just really feel like that's what some kids need. They need that consistency. That's why they do the things that they do, is because no one is consistent with them, So, but and then we also have Gym Jam, which if they have 100 dojo points at the end of the month, they get to attend. And they love Gym Jam because they get to, party in the gym, have the music, and they get to eat pizza and watch a movie in the cafeteria. So that's something that they love, looking forward to. And also the Deerwood store, the Deerbook store. They earn bucks to buy items in the Deerbook store, and they have some nice items in there. So they definitely look forward to that. So I definitely use both of those positive behavior incentives in my classroom to kind of manage my classroom behavior. So, but had a pretty good year. So yeah, so I think that's everything that's pretty much have worked in my class. So talk to you guys later. Bye.